You are listening to Claret and Blue, an Aston Villa podcast brought to you by Birmingham Live. Hello, welcome to the Claret and Blue podcast for a quick post-match debrief with Ashley Priest. I don't know where you are, Ash. What is that background?
Oh, the view's terrible. I can't even see the whole of the pitch. It's just, I think the Villa fans today in the away end had a bit of trouble. Same old at Sellers Park. It's not the greatest of view, so my feet are freezing, by the way, as well. I had to battle through the snow this morning, and my feet are still wringing wet. I'm cold, but I'm on my way home shortly after a good 3 points. Yeah,
I know you want to get home. Just be careful of your mic rubbing on your jacket as well, because that will get annoying after a little bit. But yeah, you're okay for now. Just give us your general reaction then, first of all, your 90-second summary. What did you think of that game today?
Yeah, very good, very effective from Villa. They nailed the game plan. Look, much harder to beat, Dan, for me. Everyone knows the jobs to a T. Marvellous Nakamba, John McGinn, that midfield three working really well again today. Tyrone Mings at the back, a pillar of strength. Seen him White's Benteke, which is good to see. And yeah, it didn't happen for the forward boys today, but they put a shift in, all three of them. And Ashley Young did really well today. A calming head out there. I think he's Gerrard's little lieutenant. He picked him out for praise before this one. Said he's soaked up all our methods like a sponge. He's been the best one for me over these 2 weeks. Has Ashley Young, so he was good today. But yeah, all in all, I think Gerrard masterminded a brilliant victory. Palace's first defeat here of the season, and lifts Villa's away day gloom. So yeah, credit to the players. They nailed it today.
I want to do something we've not done before, because I've not seen the game. This is just a quick reaction from your point of view more so than anything. Talk me through your player ratings. I want to do it kind of quick fire. I want you to go through each player. You might not actually remember the ones you've actually written down off the top of your head, but we're just going to go through the first 11 and a quick kind of a sentence for each, just for something we've never tried it before. Let's see how this goes. Emi Martinez, how did he do?
Martinez, he did well today. He swept up his box really well from the crosses that come in. He even took out Matt Target as well. He bundled him out of the way. He was getting everything. He did drop one, though. He dropped a corner, which was un-Martinez-like. He saved well from Benteke and Edouard late on. And he loved it in the way. And afterwards, kissing the badge, he went over to him, jumping up and down. He loved that one today.
Right,
7 out of 10, I give him. Probably a bit harsh, but
Matty Cash, right back.
Yeah, did well. He had Zaha to contend with, and he kept Zaha quiet. Matty Cash got booked. He's on 4 yellow cards now, so he's walking a tightrope for Man City. Ahead of being probably suspended for the Leicester-Liverpool game. So, but yeah, Cash dealt with Zaha well today. 7.5 out of 10.
Would Konsa and Mings as a duo go from together?
Yeah, I thought Mings was just above Konsa in terms of player ratings wise. I give Mings an 8, Konsa a 7. Mings excellent against Benteke, kept him quiet. Konsa was good as well. But yeah, immaculate from him, to be honest. But don't know how you say he got in between them late on to chalk off that clean sheet, which they wanted. So disappointing to concede late on.
I'm sure Gerrard will be disappointed with that goal as well. To 2 back-to-back clean sheets would have been lovely. Yep. Matt Target, left back, the goal scorer, sets the result in motion. A tidy finish as well. I've seen the goal. Not bad.
Yeah, touch finish, kept it low, did what he was asked. First goal in over 2 years. His last goal was against Brighton in the stoppage time at Villa Park. Remember that one? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Target did well today. He had the tricky Elise to contend with, did fine. Improving all the time under Gerrard. He got an 8 out of 10 today. Lovely.
Into the midfield, Nakamba, man of the match?
Yeah, for me, yeah. Edge the first half. It was out of Nakamba and McGinn for man of the match. Nakamba, I think he was the pick from the first half. He just settled it all down, nipping in really well like he always does. And I spoke to Gerrard after about him, and he just says, so important for us, Nakamba does all the nitty-gritty work people can miss. But yeah, Nakamba got a 9 from me today. McGinn got an 8 for his goal. Brilliant goal. I asked Gerrard about his celebration. I think his lad's going to be doing the McGinn. Can't do it, but yeah. Great finish from McGinn. I like to see him around the box. He's such a goal threat. He got an 8 out of 10. I'll give Jacob Ramsey a 7.5 out of 10. He went off, but Jacob Ramsey, another big performance from him today. So yeah, the midfield did really well.
Yeah, agreed. The thing that I like so far in Gerrard's first couple of games is the players that we've not written off, but the players that you don't really expect to make massive differences here. Matt Target, Nakamba, Mings to a lesser extent, where you think they're squad players and players that are playing every week in terms of Target and Konsa, Mings, sorry. But you're thinking, Watkins has got to play big games, Ings has got to make a difference, Bailey's got to do this. That's what we're thinking before Brighton, and it's these underrated squad players that have really stepped up over the last couple of weeks, and that's very encouraging, isn't it?
It is, yeah. He's getting that little 10% more from the players under the previous management, and that's a sign of a good manager. He's introduced a lot of different methods, a lot of information to take on board, but the players are nailing it, doing everything out there that he wants them to do. He was disappointed with the stoppage time. the last few minutes. Villa went sloppy a little bit towards the end, but other than that, I think he's getting a tune out of the players, and that's a sign of a good manager, Dan, for me.
Yeah. Leon Bailey next.
Yeah, I'll give him a 6 today. It's probably a bit generous. I've got to remember it's been a stop-start campaign for him, but before kick-off, Gerrard said he's been unreal in training, such a threat in training, and he wanted to give him a chance today. Did okay, looked a bit menacing in the first half, but a bit rusty for me. It's still early days with Bailey. I think he'll come good in time, but it weren't his day today. 6 out of 10.
Ashley Young, another one that we just mentioned. Someone I did not expect to be playing such a part that he is. Very calm, very assured, experienced, rolling back the years to 2008, playing on the wing today. How did he get on?
Yeah, vintage Ashley Young. The crowd didn't like him because obviously he was getting the better of the crowd and winning. He just took the sting out. He's a young game management. I mean, he slows it down when it needs slowing down. And Villa have missed that previously. He just knows what to do. He's been around the block as Ashley Young. So he got an 8.5 out of 10 today. I think he's very good. Didn't waste much when he had the ball. Did the right things. And it's more of a two off of one in terms of Young and Bailey playing off of Watkins today, and it worked really well. I thought Young was really clever out there, and like I said, he's Gerrard's little lieutenant on the pitch, like a manager on the pitch, if you were. So Young's been brilliant. And
finish off with your player ratings, Ollie Watkins, the lone striker.
Yeah, I mean, I give him a 7 originally because I thought he did a good start, but he faded. He got a rollicking off Tyrone Mings as well after Watkins give away the ball on halfway, and then Benteke was in, so he got a tailing off by Mings. I give him a 6 in the end. I changed it, and I think probably a 6, a bit generous, but he did well. I think he prefers playing up there centrally, and it'll come for Watkins. I think, yeah, he could have done a bit better today, a bit sloppy in possession, but all in all, he worked his socks off as he always does.
Just run me through the subs as well. I think there was only 2 that came on. Douglas Luiz and El Ghazi. Was there a third?
There was, yeah. Boyendale come on later on. I didn't have time for a rating for him, but yeah, Ghazi got an assist. He teed up McGinn, what proved to be the winner. Yeah, El Ghazi looked quite menacing when he come on. He picked up some good the ball in good areas. He's another one that could kick on under Gerrard, who's liked what you've seen. And who's the other one that come on?
Douglas Luiz.
Douglas, yeah, he got sent off, and then I didn't get that at all. I did warn the fans that the referee is card happy. Michael Salisbury, he came in for his Premier League debut today. He wanted to dish another red card. I think he dished out 5 in his last 20 games. So, but yeah, that was downgraded to a yellow. Douglas did okay, but yeah, I think he's behind Nakamba in the pecking order now for City on Wednesday.
Yeah, I've seen that red card decision on Twitter this afternoon, and
strange,
bizarre. Never a red card, but that's VAR working at its best, isn't it? Overturns it, and I don't know what you said his name was, Mark. I think he might be back down to the Championship next week. To be honest,
he didn't have a game.
El Ghazi, by the way, good decision making because we've seen him shoot from those positions before.
Yes, you have. Yeah, he shoots from all angles, but today he chose the right pass. Lovely way to pass into McGinn, and all he had to do was bend his foot around it. All he had to do, like I do every week, but no. Yeah, great finish from McGinn. Yeah.
Talk to me about the penalty shout. Someone has just said that Watkins should have been brought off rings. He wasn't having the best game. His first touch was a bit poor, which we've seen that in previous games as well. But he has got goals in him, hasn't he? That I want to just kind of give him a bit of time, and he fits Gerrard's system well with his pressing and stuff. But he was the boy that called a penalty, wasn't he? This afternoon, he could have had 3 or 4.
Yeah. I mean, from where I am,
3 or 4. Whether they actually were ones is something different.
I mean, you probably see one or 2 of them given. 2 coming together inside the box, and another day, probably one of them gets given. But yeah, he wanted them, didn't get them. And but yeah, I mean, that in terms of Danny Ings, Gerrard said before the game, he's had a couple of niggles of late. He's not at the races in terms of fitness levels, and I think we've seen that last week against Brighton. So he wanted to play Watkins centrally today, more energy from Watkins, and I mean, I know Ings didn't come on today, but when I sub that is to bring on to nick a win when the defenders are tired. Ings will be a fox in the box to hopefully get something. So, yeah, Villa's bench much stronger this season, as we all know. And like I say, I think Watkins probably starts again on Wednesday against City.
Yeah, that's arguably our strongest bench all season, isn't it? El Ghazi, Watkins, Douglas Luiz, definitely a couple of others, Buendia also, Tonzebe,
exactly.
Hawes. That's a pretty good bench there when you say it out loud. Talking about the style of play, we kind of said after last week, and I've already had a tweet saying that I didn't, after last game I said not much had changed. I still stand by with for the large periods of Brighton we weren't brilliant, but you can see those changes today though. I've spoken to Steve as well, our boss, about this, and he said, this today was a good result. Last week it was just about the result, get the win at all costs, stop the rot. That's perfect as is. But today the performance as well, from things I've seen and the bits I've read, seems to be a lot of change there. Can you kind of talk us through the 90 minutes as a whole in terms of the performance?
Yes, I mean Villa only had just a little over 30% possession today, so Palace had the lion's share. But it's what Villa did with it when they had it. I mean, they had 10 shots on Palace's goal compared to Palace's 8. Much more effective with the football. Gerrard's made a big point of Villa being out of possession, bossing the pitch out of possession, making sure Palace don't have a pass on. Or what else did he mention? As well, just playing in good areas and keeping things tight positionally as well. So they're nailing that at the moment. And once Villa become possession based, I think that's when the goals will flow. Obviously, they scored 2 today, which is good to see. But it's going to take a time. It's a work in progress. But it's what they do out of possession. They're just so much tight knit, much harder to beat as well, which is something Gerrard echoed as well afterwards. So harder to beat, and it's just boding well. Look, much more of a unit, compact, not taking risks in silly areas. And just gone back to basics and just making sure everyone's right in positions. And that front three is quite interesting to watch play out. I mean, you got two floating off Watkins quite narrowly, and it allows the likes of McGinn and Ramsey to get the ball wide and use it that way. And the fullbacks bomb on that then as well. And Nakamba's the pivotal man for me in the middle, making sure he's there as the insurance policy, if you like. So I mean, they're taking the information on board, and Gerrard deserves huge plaudits for that.
I just want to read a couple of fan comments. John Hall says, great game, defended well, and our attacking play was awesome. Mark Fisher, great all-round play, not all about the attack, more resolute at the back, makes a huge difference. Ian Robinson says, I felt like we were in control all game, and Scott says we flooded the middle again. Did you feel like it was always, it's easy with hindsight, but do you feel like it was always going to be Villa's day today?
I did, from early on. We really got into the rhythm quite quick. The quiet in the crowd down here frustrated them. Very good. They used the football really well today. Picking the right passes, Nakamba, Jacob Ramsey always showing in tight areas, being brave to do that. I can't fault them. I can't fault the player today. I really can't. Good team shift. They'll enjoy tonight, as I said. And even Gerrard told me, he said, I'm planning for Man City tomorrow. I'm in tomorrow. I'm going to plan to get Man City. So he ain't stopping. He's quite relentless.
He'll be thinking about it tonight.
Well, yeah, exactly. So, he's full steam ahead to Man City on Wednesday now for Gerrard. So they'll go back home tonight. And, all eyes on Wednesday, like I say. But, what he's achieved in 2 weeks, it's been phenomenal for me.
There's a couple more questions I want to get to before I let you go, because I know you've got other stuff to do.
Right.
Get back as well. Excuse me. Paula says percentage of possession means nothing. It's quality, not quantity. I thought it was interesting what Gerrard said after the Brighton game, where he's like, they were playing in areas that we wanted them to. It's fine then passing around the back. We're comfortable. We know what's going to happen. Give us a bit of insight into Gerrard, the man, I guess, to give it a rubbish phrase. What's he been like in press conferences when you've dealt with him? What kind of, we see in interviews is impressive enough, but kind of away from the cameras, what kind of impression have you got in the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, he's very serious, very thoughtful. I chucked him a little bit of a light-hearted question today about his son doing the McGinn celebration, and he quite liked that. Very serious, very thoughtful in what he does. He's thinking all the time, and he's taking it really seriously. Dan, he really is. He wants to prove himself at this level, and he's doing that brilliantly so far. But I think everyone, obviously, Gerrard the name, a lot of high-profile former players really make a big impact. But I think Gerrard could be the one, He's taking it seriously. He's got a good coaching team behind him as well. And what I like to see as well, whereas previously under Smith, you had Shakespeare, you had O'Kelly, Terry, you had McPhee, Danks, all around the touchline. Whereas here, it's just Gerrard on his own. There's no one bothering him, just him. He's close to the action. And he said he wants to be out there for the players. He wants them to see him. He wants them to help him, guiding them over the line. So, he's his own man. And he's loving it, I think he's loving it. He's got a good group of players to work with. You're getting the best out of them now. And the players are loving it as well, hence them following the game plan and doing exactly what he's being asked. And, I've got a good feeling about this, Dan. I really have.
I think everything that he said so far, he's got absolutely spot on, and it's easy to have that backed up when you've just won your first 2 games as well. I think if we'd have lost the first 2, but he was having lovely press conferences, we'd be going, do it on the pitch though first. I thought that he's been respectful to Smith and the coaching staff. He's mentioned McPhee today about having a very good technical specialist coach for set pieces, and his job is to identify weaknesses. We've known that Palace have been weak from set pieces, and we go and score in the first 10, 12 minutes or whatever it was from a set piece. But he also knows not to get carried away with the job that he's doing himself. It's 2 wins, but there's still plenty more to do, and that's what you want to hear from your manager.
Well, today I'll mention it. 80 McGinnis just scored a couple of minutes later, 87th minute. Gerrard give us a wave. He didn't bother. He didn't bother waving back. He was too focused on the game, and it wasn't over, was it? I mean, they scored at the end, Palace, minutes ago, and it could have been different, ended differently.
Yeah.
So yeah, he didn't want to wave back. He's got a job to do. I think he made a point in his pre-match press conference as well. I think someone asked him a lot of you playing a Christmas do, a bit of team spirit bonding. He went, I'm not interested in that, mate. He said, I'm focused on points and getting Villa higher up the table. So no messing. And that's what you want from the manager. So he's saying doing all the right things at the moment. And I'm intrigued to see him pit his wits against Guardiola on Wednesday. That'll be really interesting.
Yeah, finally, just going to ask you about Man City, because, often as fans, as much as we're on a good little run at the moment and confidence is high and it's very easy to get carried away, I mean, to be fair, these last couple of games, let's not underestimate how good a results these two are. I don't think Brighton had lost away all season until they turned up at Villa Park. Palace haven't lost at home all season until today either. They've given lots of plaudits about the way they play, and Brighton are doing well. Palace and Vieira, what a start they've had, and we've gone there and what should have been really two back-to-back 2-0. So let's not underestimate how good these two games have been. But Man City is another level on Wednesday. I think it is. As fans, we kind of look at that and go, it's a difficult game. Let's see. We'll see what happens. What kind of approach will Gerrard have to that game, and your kind of prediction for what is a tough game? But Villa Park crowd, it's going to be lively, isn't it? You never know.
Exactly that. I mean, he's had 2 good games to work with his group now to implement his game plan in terms of being out of possession. I think 36 and 37% Villa have averaged in the last 2 games against Brighton and Palace. So that'll give them a bit of a training exercise to play against Man City, because they're not going to have a large chunk of the ball. So they'll be used to that. And it's what they do with it. I mean, they've had 19 attempts on target, on goal in the last 2 games, which is good going forward without having the ball. So they've been really effective when they've got it. And nothing to lose on Wednesday. You get the crowd right behind them. Gerrard will be pumped up. And I'm looking forward to it already. I think Villa can cause a shock there. And with the players, the team spirit is built in these 2 weeks. They'll be going in there full of confidence as well, especially after today and the manner of it.
Right, well, we'll call it a night there. An evening. I think we'll do something again on Monday or Tuesday, more in depth. We'll maybe get Pat, James, John, whoever's around. Unlike Stephen Gerrard, who's very serious, Matt Kendrick is at the German market tonight on the beers. So that's why I've asked you to start in a quick 15 minutes on your shift rather than me and Matt messing around. So Ash, thank you very much for your time. Get yourself warmed up.
I found my feet. I can't feel my feet. They're gone. See you later.
Thanks to all the fans that tuned in. We'll be back with another more in-depth podcast in the week, in the build-up to Man City as well. So thank you very much for tuning into this quick post-match debrief, and we'll catch you again in a couple of days. Thank you for listening to Claret and Blue, an Aston Villa podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, then please do let us know. We love hearing your feedback. We'll be back soon with another episode, but until then, up the Villa.